Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that the contours of your world, the ones carved by a lifetime of memories, are beginning to fade. For one man, this wasn't a passing fear, but a cold fog slowly wrapping around his existence, stealing not only his memories, but the very essence of who he once was. But what if the key to clearing that fog, to reclaiming clarity and the joy of living, was hidden inside an ancient wisdom, a timeless secret whispered by centuries past? Today, through a moving tale, we'll uncover 8 powerful ways to awaken the mind. This is the story of Yun, a man who found light just when he believed he was condemned to darkness. The persistent buzz of the alarm clock hammered through the silence of his room. It tore Yun from a dreamless sleep, the only brief escape left from reality. With a hoarse grunt, almost a groan, he reached out a trembling hand to silence the machine. His eyes opened slowly, revealing a ceiling marked with thin cracks, like a map of forgotten days. A deep sigh of resignation escaped his lips. Another day.
Each morning, the weight of his 78 years seemed to press him deeper into the mattress. They weren't just years, they were geological eras of fatigue, solitude, and regret. He lay still, his gaze lost in emptiness, trying to summon a spark of will to face yet another dawn. His body, once strong and agile, had become a traitor. Arthritis, like a poisonous vine, had wound itself around every joint, turning each movement into a stab of pain. A grimace crossed his face as, with tremendous effort, he managed to sit on the edge of the bed. The room was a sanctuary of half-light, where the weak rays of the autumn sun fought to pierce the heavy curtains. Bare walls, an old wooden wardrobe with paint peeling like dry skin. Everything was still, unchanged. Nothing had moved. Not since the day Miyu left. Her name echoed in his heart, sharp, familiar, unhealed. Miyu.
For more than 50 years, she had been his compass, his rhythm, the steady melody of his life. Together, they had weathered storms and celebrated calms, raising 2 daughters who now had families of their own. They had shared laughter that made the walls vibrate, and tears that soaked the same pillows. Then one night, the future they had woven together dissolved, as swiftly and silently as the smoke of a snuffed-out candle. Since that night, Yun had become a ghost ship, adrift in an ocean of numbness and confusion. Without his North Star, he felt irretrievably lost. The apartment, once a warm nest of life, was now a mausoleum. The silence was so loud that sometimes he could swear he heard the dust settling on the furniture, on the trinkets Miyu once polished with care. Yun had become the shadow of himself, a ghost haunting the corridors of his own painful memory. A soft meow broke the spell. He looked down and saw Momo, the old spotted cat, staring up with bright green eyes full of regal impatience. It was the last living bond with Miyu's world, a small, breathing reminder of a love that even death had not erased.
"Good morning, my friend," Yun whispered, his voice rough from disuse. His arthritic hand gently stroked the cat's head. "I suppose it's breakfast time." Rising was an act of heroism. Each step toward the kitchen came with the protest of creaking bones. Momo followed, tail upright, a tiny general leading his weary soldier. The cold tiles sent a chill up Yun's spine. He switched on the light. The sudden glare forced him to squint. The kitchen was a portrait of neglect. Empty cupboards, chipped tiles, appliances from another era coated in dust and silence. Miyu would have cried to see it so. She, who made every surface shine and filled the air with the scent of steamed rice and sautéed vegetables. Now, Yun barely found the strength for the simplest actions. He opened the can, and the metallic smell of cat food filled the air.
Momo devoured it eagerly, while Yun watched in silence, a hollow thought crossing his mind. What will I eat? He couldn't remember if there were eggs or bread. A flash of panic struck him. Yesterday, for a brief second, he had forgotten the name of his youngest grandson. Just for a moment, but it had felt like falling into an abyss. His memory, once an impeccable archive, was now a ruined library, shelves collapsed, pages torn. The fear of dementia, the same that had consumed his mother, gripped him tightly. The terror of becoming an empty shell, a stranger to his own family, was a constant companion. He could feel his mind dimming, slowly, inexorably. But he dared not tell anyone. To utter that word, dementia, felt like signing his own death sentence. To escape his thoughts, he decided to go out. He needed air, space. The walls were closing in on him. He locked the door, leaving Momo basking in a ray of sunlight. A bitter smile crossed his lips. He walked aimlessly, feet dragging across the asphalt. Each step sent a sharp reminder of his fragility through his knees. How many more years like this? He wondered silently. His mind wandered back to the golden days. Long walks with Miyu along the river, their hands intertwined. The laughter of their daughters in the park, the rush of wind during bicycle rides. Memories so vivid yet so far, belonging to another life, another man. Without realizing it, his feet led him to an old square he hadn't visited in decades. It was there that, as a boy, he and his friends used to gather, a noisy band of dreamers plotting to conquer the world.
Nostalgia struck him like a wave, bittersweet, heavy with joy and loss. He sat on a bench beneath an ancient tree and let the memories wash over him. That was when a calm, gentle voice brought him back to the present. "Excuse me, sir. Would you mind if I sit here? All the other benches are taken." Yun startled. He hadn't noticed anyone approach. He turned and saw a Buddhist monk, an elderly man like himself, but with eyes that shone with vitality and serenity, a peace Yun hadn't felt in years. His head was shaved, his robe a deep saffron hue. "Of course," Yun murmured, shifting slightly. The monk sat down, breathing in the crisp morning air. Then, with a gentle smile, he said, "My name is Akira. I belong to the nearby Zen temple. I don't think I've seen you around here before. Do you come often?" "My name is Yun," he replied, voice barely above a whisper. "No, I haven't been here for many years. I used to meet my friends here when I was young, but time has run its course."
Akira nodded, eyes full of quiet empathy. "I understand. Time is a river that carries away many things, but this morning is perfect for meditation. The cool air, the bird song. We Buddhists call it the eternal present, a moment complete in itself." Yun looked at him puzzled. Meditation? Eternal present? The word sounded foreign, almost alien. I sense deep suffering in your eyes, Yoon, Akira said softly. It seems you carry a heavy burden. Sometimes speaking to a stranger can ease the heart. The offer was unexpected. Yoon hesitated. How could he explain the emptiness within to a stranger? Yet there was something disarming in those calm eyes, a peace that seemed unshakable. And so the words began to pour out. He spoke of Miyu, of loneliness, of memory lapses, of the paralyzing fear of losing himself. Akira listened without interruption, his silence more comforting than any words. When Yoon finally finished, tears streaking his face, the monk placed a hand on his shoulder.
Your loss is immense, Yun. But don't let grief erase the joy you share. As for your memory, there are ancient practices that can help. If you wish, our temple is open. I can guide you. A spark flickered within him. For the first time in years, Yun felt a faint glimmer of hope. Buddhist practices from memory. The idea sounded strange, but despair pushed him to accept.
Yoon followed Akira toward the Shomyo Temple, a place he hadn't even known existed. The meditation hall was an oasis of silence and simplicity. The air smelled of incense and aged wood. Rows of monks sat motionless, like carved statues. Yoon felt clumsy and out of place. He tried to imitate their cross-legged posture, but his knees protested sharply. "Don't worry about the perfect position," Akira whispered, setting a small timer. "Now close your eyes. Focus only on your breathing. Feel the air entering and leaving your nostrils. Don't control it, just observe." Yoon obeyed, but his mind was a crowded marketplace. An itch, a flash of Miyu's face, the grocery list, an old tune. Every thought demanded attention. Frustrated, he opened his eyes. "It's normal," Akira said patiently. "The mind is like a monkey leaping from branch to branch. We must teach it to sit still. Every time it wanders, gently bring it back to the breath. Let's try again. 3 minutes." It took countless attempts, but finally, for a few precious seconds, Yoon found silence. The chatter ceased. There was only his breath. A fleeting moment, but a revelation.
When he opened his eyes again, he felt unexpectedly light, as if an invisible weight had been lifted. "You did it!" Akira smiled. "That spark of clarity proves your mind can still change. With daily practice, that spark will grow into a fire." And so Yoon's journey began. Every day he devoted himself to vipassana, the practice of insight. It was hard, frustrating, full of doubts, but he persevered. Slowly, moments of stillness stretched longer, and with them, his memory began to return. Not only memories, but peace, and a sense of purpose he thought lost forever. One day, Akira took him aside. "Yoon, meditation is the foundation, but there are other pillars that uphold the temple of the mind. Now that you've learned to calm the waters, it's time to learn how to nourish them." And so Akira revealed the secrets. The first secret? Challenge your mind. The mind, Akira said, is like a muscle. If you don't train it, it atrophies. Games such as Sudoku, crosswords, learning a new language, or playing an instrument all create new neural connections. It's gymnastics for the brain. Yun hadn't opened a book in years. He felt skeptical, but he followed the advice. He bought a Sudoku book, and to his surprise, found a childlike joy in solving the puzzles. Each finished grid was a small victory against the fog.
The second secret: protect your sleep. Sleep isn't the absence of activity, explained Akira. It's the moment when the brain consolidates memories, like a librarian cataloging the day's books. Poor sleep is like a distracted librarian. Information gets lost. He advised Yun to build a calming bedtime ritual. No glowing screens, a warm bath, a few pages of reading. Yun, who used to toss in bed, haunted by thoughts, followed the simple routine. And for the first time in years, he slept deeply.
The third secret: practice mindfulness. This isn't only about sitting meditation, said Akira. It's about carrying the same awareness into every moment. When you eat, taste each bite. When you walk, feel the ground beneath your feet. Being fully present prevents the mind from wandering through the maze of past and future. Yun began to bring mindfulness into his daily tasks. While washing dishes, he focused on the warmth of the water. While tending the garden, he noticed the vivid colors of the flowers. The world, once gray and monotonous, bloomed again with wonder. The fourth secret: move your body. The body and mind are inseparable, Akira continued. Exercise doesn't just strengthen the body, it triggers the release of neurotrophic factors that support neuron growth and survival. A brisk walk, swimming, anything you enjoy, each is medicine for the brain. Despite his aches, Yun began walking again. At first it hurt, but soon he discovered that movement not only eased his arthritis, but also cleared his thoughts. The fifth secret: feed your brain. The food you eat, said Akira, is fuel for the brain. Antioxidants found in berries, green tea, nuts, and leafy vegetables fight inflammation and oxidative stress, the twin enemies of memory. Yun, who had survived for years on dull, ready meals, rediscovered the pleasure of cooking. He visited the market, selecting fresh fruits and vegetables. Each meal became a small ritual, nourishment for body and soul alike.
If these lessons of wisdom are resonating with you, if you wish to keep exploring the path of awareness and inner strength, I invite you to subscribe to Monk Wisdom and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next chapters of our journey. Together, we can learn to cultivate a clearer mind and a more peaceful heart. The sixth secret: honor your natural rhythm. The brain, said Akira, follows its own clock. There are morning larks and night owls. Learn to recognize your moments of greatest clarity and dedicate them to your most demanding tasks. Don't fight your nature. Flow with it. Yun realized he had always been more lucid in the morning. He began to devote those early hours to study, meditation, and writing, leaving the mechanical chores for the afternoon. His focus and efficiency improved remarkably. The seventh secret: the power of visual memory. Our mind thinks in images, Akira explained. To remember a list of things, don't force the words. Create a vivid, absurd story that connects them. He gave Yun an example using a shopping list. Imagine an elephant bathing in a lagoon of rainbow detergent, while a giant rabbit munches on a colossal carrot, flying on a magic carpet made of whole grain bread, from which oatmeal flakes rain down. Yun laughed, but tried it, and it worked. The more bizarre the image, the harder it was to forget. The eighth secret: the gratitude journal. The simplest and most profound of all is to write every night 5 things you're grateful for. This simple act shifts your mind's focus from scarcity to abundance, from sorrow to joy.
Cultivating gratitude is the fastest way to rediscover peace. At first, Yun struggled to find things to be thankful for. But little by little, his list grew. He was grateful for the morning sun, for Momo's meow, for the kindness of a stranger, for the taste of warm tea. Months passed, and Yun's transformation was astonishing. He was no longer the depressed, forgetful man who had once dragged himself to the temple. His mind had grown sharper, his memory steadier, and a serene smile had replaced the shadow of melancholy. But the greatest change had taken root within. He no longer felt like a victim of fate, but an active participant in shaping his own reality. One afternoon, while meditating under an old cherry tree, an idea bloomed in his mind. He felt a profound desire to share what he had learned, to return the gift Akira had given him. That same evening, he spoke to his mentor. "Akira," he said, "after all this time, I feel ready to pass on the wonders Buddhism has brought to my mind, my body, and my spirit. I want to start a meditation group for elders like me." Akira looked at him, his eyes gleaming with pride. "I celebrate your wish to serve others, Yun. This is the path of the Bodhisattva. You have my blessing."
And so Yun, the man who once feared he had lost everything, became a beacon of hope for others. His small meditation group quickly grew, spreading by word of mouth. Elderly men and women who, like him, felt lonely, frightened, and forgotten, found in his teaching a new reason to live. Within a year, with the help of donors and the power of social media, his Golden Rebirth Foundation opened 30 centers across Japan. The day he received an award from the Ministry of Health, Yun insisted that Akira stand beside him on stage. Facing the moved crowd, his eyes shining, he thanked his mentor and friend. Then he stepped down and embraced his daughter and grandchildren. "Dad," she whispered, "Mom would be so proud. You seem younger every day." Yun smiled, a radiant smile that rose from the depths of his renewed soul. He looked at the faces of his grandchildren, at the future, and understood that his true life had just begun. He was no longer a drifting ship, but a lighthouse, its gentle light guiding other vessels out of the storm toward a harbor of peace and serenity. He had learned that memory is not merely an archive of the past, but the seed of the future. A seed that, if cultivated with love and awareness, can bloom in any season of life.